In an April 14, 2025 interview with Headlots News, Belgian Defense Minister Theo Franken formally proposed that future F-35 fighter jets ordered by Belgium be assembled at the Final Assembly and Checkout (FACO) facility in Cameri, Italy, rather than at Lockheed Martin's primary plant in Fort Worth, Texas. Franken confirmed that the proposal has already been submitted to Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto. He stressed that relocating assembly to Europe could support job creation, strengthen European defense industry integration, and align Belgium's defense procurement with broader EU strategic goals. The move is also intended to reinforce Belgium's position as a reliable NATO ally, particularly given its role in hosting key NATO institutions such as the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, SHAPE, and the NATO Communications and Information Agency, NCIA, in Mons. Belgium initially joined the F-35 program in 2018, when former Defense Minister Steven Van de Putte signed a contract with Lockheed Martin for 34 F-35A stealth fighters. This followed a competitive selection process in which the F-35 prevailed over the Eurofighter Typhoon and the Dassault Rafale. The decision was based on affordability and compliance with Belgium's 7 procurement criteria. The original contract was valued at €3.6 billion but has since risen to approximately €4 billion to include pilot training, infrastructure upgrades, and maintenance through 2030. These F-35s are intended to replace Belgium's aging fleet of 54 F-16s, with 30 of those scheduled to be transferred to Ukraine starting in 2026. The urgency of transitioning to the 5th-generation F-35 platform has increased as Belgium accelerates its modernization plans. Each F-35A was acquired at a cost of approximately €76 million, reportedly less than the prices paid by Italy or the Netherlands. However, anticipated economic returns from the F-35 deal have not materialized as expected. In 2018, then Minister of Economy Chris Peters claimed the program would be financially self-sustaining through contracts awarded to Belgian companies. Yet by mid-2022, only €700 million in such contracts had been secured, representing less than 20% of the total procurement cost. A revised agreement signed in 2024 projects economic returns of just €66 million annually, totaling €2.7 billion over 40 years. Far short of the estimated €12.4 billion lifecycle cost of the aircraft. Despite these shortcomings, the government has stated the program is too far advanced to reconsider or reverse. As of early 2025, Belgium has received 8 F-35A aircraft, all built in Fort Worth. These jets are currently stationed at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona for pilot and technician training. They are expected to be transferred to Belgian territory in the fall of 2025 to support NATO missions, including air policing on NATO's eastern flank. In preparation, significant upgrades are underway at Florennes and Kleinbrabel air bases, with investments totaling around €275 million. These renovations include the construction of new hangars for simulator rooms, maintenance facilities for 6 aircraft, 16 covered parking spaces, a quick reaction alert zone, and lodging for personnel, all funded through Belgium's multi-year defense budget. To further enhance the F-35's operational readiness, Belgium has also procured $115 million worth of GBU-53/B precision-guided bombs. Despite earlier concerns about the platform, especially after Belgium temporarily rejected 2 F-35s in 2023 due to display and software faults, Franken reaffirmed the government's commitment to the aircraft. According to the current coalition agreement, Belgium will not consider acquiring any alternative fighter jet. Franken emphasized that Belgium's air force is too small to sustain 2 different fighter platforms. Therefore, all future acquisitions will be limited to the F-35, with new deals contingent on greater economic offsets and domestic job creation, areas where the original program has fallen short. General Frederik van Zijne, chief of the Belgian Defense Staff, recently defended the F-35's continued relevance, citing Israeli air operations and the ongoing war in Ukraine as validation of the aircraft's stealth and combat performance. Belgium is in the midst of a substantial increase in defense spending, with the new government pledging nearly €4 billion in additional annual defense expenditures. This is part of an overarching plan to reach NATO's defense spending target of 2% of GDP. The 5-year roadmap includes over €20 billion in new investments, covering areas such as air defense systems, rocket launchers, and armored vehicles. Franken described this as a starting point, suggesting that NATO may soon consider even more ambitious spending benchmarks, possibly as high as 3% of GDP. To finance this expanded budget, Belgium will borrow €2 billion in 2025. Nevertheless, Franken insists the country's debt-to-GDP ratio will remain on a downward trend due to strong economic performance. A key aspect of Belgium's defense financing strategy is the European Union's allowance for increased borrowing on defense projects, provided the expenditures qualify as European. Franken admitted there remains some uncertainty about whether F-35s assembled in Italy would meet this criterion. If the EU classifies these jets as European products, Belgium would be able to secure additional loans without negatively impacting its national debt targets. The government is also evaluating how to categorize spending on defense communication systems, space assets, and military pensions under NATO and EU accounting rules. To that end, Franken's proposal to assemble future F-35s at Italy's Cameri Facco plant is strategically aligned with existing US and European infrastructure. The Cameri site, operated jointly by Leonardo, formerly Alenia Aermacchi, and Lockheed Martin, is the only F-35 assembly and checkout facility outside the US and Japan. In fact, a recent US policy shift now permits European F-35 buyers to request production at Cameri. Since no new facilities would be required, the proposal would fit seamlessly into the F-35's distributed manufacturing model, which includes Japan's Nagoya Facco, run by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, and an upcoming center fuselage line in Germany managed by Rheinmetall and Northrop Grumman. Cameri has already proven its capability, having delivered the first Italian-assembled F-35A in 2015 and the first F-35B in 2018. It also serves as the designated maintenance, repair, overhaul, and upgrade (MRO&U) hub for Europe, a role it was officially assigned by the U.S. Department of Defense in 2014. Employing over 750 workers, Cameri also produces wing components at Leonardo's plants in Foggia and Nola. While its output is smaller than that of Fort Worth, its per-unit production costs are reportedly similar. Several European customers, including the Netherlands, already receive aircraft assembled at the Italian site. The F-35 program is truly international in scope. The United Kingdom is the only Level 1 partner and contributes vital components like the vertical lift system, ejection seats, and portions of the software. Italian firms play a significant role in wing production, while Denmark, Norway, Canada, and Australia also supply parts. Germany is currently building a fuselage assembly facility to support roughly 400 aircraft for the global fleet. According to former Deputy Prime Minister Chris Peters, nearly 30% of F-35 components come from European manufacturers. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. See you in the next video. Take care and stay awesome.